So the first thing I'd like to say here is go Mariners. It's a great season. We got a king, a one-hit win last night. Awesome, nothing better. We're coming to you from Salty's Seafood Grill here, and we have a spring king salmon, otherwise known as Chinook. This one was caught for us off of Astoria. We're working direct with some fishermen, so they ship it up the day after they catch it. This thing was in the water 24 hours ago. Super fresh, really nice. I'm going to show you how to make a steak cut on it. So this salmon here has its head on and its belly out, and as you can see, it's really clean in here. They pressure bleed them, this fisherman that I'm using right now. So it means they put a pressure hose in their mouth and they force all the blood out so the fish stays really fresh, the meat doesn't discolor. This is a great fish. First off, what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and get this head off of this bad boy. We'll cut it out like so. And then we're going to come in and cut out these belly bones, and what we're trying to do is just kind of butterfly this whole thing wide open. So I'm trying not to go through the back end of this salmon, at the same time cutting through all the way through those pin bones. And as you do it, maybe you can hear on the video, maybe you can't, a little crackling going on, like a little fireplace in there. And what that's telling me is that I'm actually getting through those pin bones, and you can see here that I've gotten through them right in there. I'm going to cut down underneath this fin all the way down. I'm going to then take this bad boy, flip it over, flip it around. You notice when I did that, I didn't pick it up like this. A lot of times what will happen is it'll fold the salmon and it'll end up breaking up the meat, and you want to have nice, good, clean fillets, especially for a product that's this fresh and costs this much money to purchase. I'm going to go through and do the exact same thing on this side. Try not to make sure to bust out your knife on the other end. So we're going to leave that skin on in a steak cut. And one of the reasons we do that is it's going to hold the fat. This fish has been out there swimming its life away, getting ready to come up into the rivers and breed and die. So they are full of fat. One of the things that makes a king salmon, or Chinook in this case, so wonderful is that fat. So by leaving that skin on there, when we do a steak cut, you're really capturing all that fat in the process. At this point, we got our salmon nice and opened up. It's not cut all the way through. We're going to go ahead and get this backbone out. Somewhere around these parts, you'll be able to cut part of it out. Come back through. All the way up to where the tailbone is here. And that comes off. Now what I'll do with this is I'll get a spoon and I'll scrape all this out, and we'll use it in a salmon rillette that we serve for brunch. We'll smoke it off, and we'll be able to capture all that waste, because this is such a wonderful fresh product. You can't beat it. One of the things we'll be looking for in the freshness is the eyes. See how the eyes are up? They're not recessed down in. See how they look bright and shiny? You can still see the colors reflecting, almost like this little sucker's still looking at you. The next thing is, somewhere in here, they did a good job of getting the gills, because they spoil, but they always leave a few. And if you see that right there, see how bright red that is? That means that this thing is still fresh enough to the point where the oxygen hasn't even oxidized in it yet. That is a fresh salmon. The other way is you get in there and smell it. I might be weird, but I kind of think salmon smells a little bit like melon when it's this fresh. So we have our nicely butterflied out salmon right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out these belly bones. Now if this was a sockeye or maybe even a king for a really special occasion, you could then take this thing and tie it all the way back up and do a whole stuffed salmon dish out of it. But we're going to cut nice little individual steaks, looking for about an 8.5, 9 ounce portion to serve to our guests here on our new dinner menu at Salty's at Redondo Beach. We got this cut off. Now almost one of the last things we got to do here, to use your knife, maybe if you don't have experience, flip it over so you don't end up cutting up the meat, but I've done this at least once before. So I'm going to use this knife, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to get all those little pin bones to stand up, so when I come through with my pliers, I can grab them and pull them out and get the majority of them out for our guests so they can eat a bone, almost guaranteed bone-free product. You always miss one of them will always break out a little bit, but we're going to do our best to get the 99.9% of them out.